they need to be more reliable, more robust, and that, it takes a big investment to make those things happen. So that's just kind of where they are, I think.
In terms, and this is one thing that I was reading in the coverage a couple of weeks ago when people were starting to talk about BCI again, is just, when you look at investment, right, and the importance of investing in academic institutions that are really driving this research, right, that may or may not be commercialized later down the road, what kind of an investment are we looking at, right, to propel this research, right, to take that 10 to 15 year time span and condense it down to, what might be possible in the next 5 years or 3 to 5 years. Because if I go back to the perspective of BlackRock, recognizing that, the co-founder is an academic himself, he's been a driver for generating funding for these projects, right? And we're seeing academic research projects start to dwindle, right? Like what would be the rallying cry to businesses and investors in terms of what kind of investment do we need to make in this research in order to reach the patient population in a meaningful way?
That's a good question. I'm not sure I can answer that, just because, I come from more of a science background than a business background. Yeah, I just don't really have a good answer for you. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's why the DARPA funding is so critical, right? Like the DARPA dollars are.
Yeah, big investments of money and, attraction of talent, attraction of people who are willing to participate in trials and, be willing to compensate for their time. And, I'm sure all those things are very important. And, I can't tell, which one of those points is, really kind of like a bottleneck of this process. But yeah. Probably, a combination of all of those.
It's interesting that you just started talking about recruitment. When we were at SFN a couple of years ago with Chicago, they were looking to recruit. How is your recruitment process? Are you potentially down the road looking for more people to be interested? Is that, like, if you were to prioritize sort of what are your short and long-term objectives, right? Do you need more patients? Is that challenging? I know you've been working with Nathan for quite some time. I'm just trying to think through what can we add to this to make it a more robust story that hits a number of things as we're telling this emotional story. Because I'm thinking about Nathan and his ability to move an arm, and I can hear him saying, like, I just want to play a video game. I want to get better at playing X video game. And I can't remember what he plays. Maria would probably know because she talks to him on a more regular basis. But, who is the right person?
I think they're also with recruitment, and I think Sheila can speak to that too. So they recently had recruited a new patient in the trial, and he is at the much earlier stages of his BCI journey. He was implanted this summer. So I think they're trying to, and the participant, we also have him profiled on the web page. I think it's in the RNEL recruitment page. Let me see. Yep, you can. I'll drop a link and you can scroll down. So the participant's name is Dom, and he is an African American man, which reaching those people and including racial minorities, etc. I think is a big priority. But obviously, they're also limited, and that's it's kind of like not anyone's fault. So with the clinical trials, they have to, the patient profile that they're looking for is very narrow and very specific. So a lot of people who, even if they have tetraplegia, they cannot participate because X, Y, and Z, because, the FDA limits